Hi guys, this is the Great and Powerful Zilla, and welcome back to another adventure on the PTR. Probably the last adventure I'm going to post because tomorrow is Monday and the test will probably end and it will be released on Wednesday/Thursday, the 30th and 31st. So, the purpose of this video is twofold. One, it is to show you general gameplay with the Langley, some of the things that I've picked up along the way, and we're going to take a look at the end of the game at the economics as it is right now in the PTR. Understanding that this is A, a work in progress, and B, most likely will change before the game is released live. So what you see here, besides my crappy play, do not panic, it is likely to change. And of course, Wargaming themselves has said this will be a work in progress. There will be quite a few patches before they've got everything ironed out. Number two is shout out to the AVW clan. And the leader of the AVW clan is 85 Fury. His name is on the screen here. 85 Fury is vacillating and hem-hawing and waffling about whether or not he should spend some of the 400 frickin' billion credits he has to get the Langley in his port. For various assorted reasons, he is afraid. If he does not get the Langley before the patch releases, he will not get a Captain Respec, and he will not be able to join right in with everybody else in learning how to get their plane shot down. So, I am encouraging Mrs. Fury to grab a 10-inch skillet and smack him upside the top of the head so that he will have attention and understand that he needs to get the Langley in his port or the Hosho in his port before Wednesday/Thursday next week. Mrs. Fury, if you would be so kind as to get your husband in gear as the leader of the AVW clan and lead by example and get this ship in its port. So this game is going to be dedicated not only to 85 Fury, but to Mrs. Fury. And if you feel free, gentlemen, if you wish to kind of prompt him along, you may, at any time during the game, contact him via chat and type in the word you see at the bottom of the screen. This should remind him to get the Langley as quickly as he possibly can. Okay? Without further ado, here is today's little feature, the Langley in action. Alright, we got into co-op, and as you can see here, I am the only human being in this particular match, which is a good thing because I don't have to embarrass myself in front of everybody else. But I do want to briefly mention that the Wakefield I have found is a pretty hefty anti-aircraft little destroyer at tier 4. Go figure. So the first thing I do is pull up the map and I scooch on over behind that big island over on the left hand side of the mini-map, take up my rocket planes as I normally do, and zip out there to spot the enemy. My objective is not to go higgledy-piggledy in and just rocket everything. Because of my lag, I have to adjust for the aim, and I probably won't hit much anyway. So my best bet to help my team of bots is to scout out and locate the enemy and see which direction in which they are heading, which you can do very, very quickly on an aircraft carrier. They did change the spotting mechanics, so sometimes with destroyers you won't see them until you pop up right on top of them, which really doesn't give you enough time to react like now. So what I've done, I've flown into the flak and I hit speed boost. I come roaring in there as fast as I possibly can on these planes, launch rockets, pull out. Of course, the rockets fell short. I knew they would, but you will notice that I did not lose all of my planes. Now I've come out of there's a little cooldown after you release the rockets. I come out of that, I continue to hit speed boost, and I'm weaving back and forth, trying to avoid the flak as best I can. A lot of it you can't, but once you get past this enormous anti-aircraft envelope, then you can recover and start another approach. Okay? So I'm trying to line up with the mouse and the A and D key, and it's really not working that well because, again, my lag. This is not wargaming, this is my lag, although I do prefer all mouse. So we're going to come in, and we're going to line up. Ideally, you want to go full broadside with the rockets, but you take what you can get. And I'm going to launch, and do we hit something? Yes, we do. We get a hit for no damage. What can I tell you? Anyway, we bring up torpedo bombers next. And I'm probably wrong, but I swear I saw this in a movie, Pearl Harbor. That trainer, that lady was flying with that kid when they spotted the Japanese Zeros coming over the island, was very similar to this. It probably wasn't this, but it was very similar to it. And this is a trainer aircraft. That's why it has a T in front of it. So I am coming over, and I'm looking to the left. I see that battleship's dug in behind that island. I can't hit him from there, but what I can do is try and loop around that little island in front of me. Not the one on the left, but the furthest one. Loop around that, come back around, and hit him in the broadside. That's my plan. It's a brilliant plan. It was approved by Oxford University. Trust me. It's in every military textbook. Zilla will fly this way, turn around, and then fly that way. Okay? So, here I go. I'm looping around this little island. And there's the battleship right there to my left. I'm trying to control with the A and D keys, but again, it's kind of clunky. Too much. Gotta overcorrect it. Yeah, come back. Okay, right about there. That's pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to come down. I'm going to give it a good long approach so that thing narrows down as close as I can get it. And I'm going to drop right on the deck. There goes the torpedo. And the battleship starts turning to the right to bury himself into the island. And there's probably no chance. Nope, that torpedo. But I thought it was going to miss because these bots are smart. I'm sure I've mentioned it before, but these bots are not dumb. They wiggle, they move, they maneuver, they turn in, they pop smoke and stay in it, they cap zones instead of charging through. This goes live. I know some PvE players that might complain about it. I kind of like it. You're fighting a smarter bot. Will they eventually give more compensation for that? Yeah. Your mileage may vary, I guess. Anyway, we're going to drop down one last time. Notice I have not lost any torpedo planes yet. I'm using that boost, and boom, I went bye-bye. Generally speaking, as it is now, if you take any plane broadside into a cruiser, you're probably going to get tore up. That's just the way this is designed right now. Will there be adjustments? Most likely. Are there right now on the PTR? Nope. They're going to leave this up. They're going to take it down. They're going to make some adjustments, and they're going to release it on Wednesday and Thursday. And there's quite a few things that need adjusting. There's a few glitches that are still going on in the game. Look at all those torpedoes. And what I did here... I'm sorry to distract you. There's a destroyer down there, and he just died. And what I was trying to do was blind fire into that smoke with bombs. A desperate act, you say? Probably. But what if I had hit him and sank him? You just never know. And I will grant you on the Langley, if you have torpedo planes up, you only launch one torpedo. But one is more than none. And you never know, you might get lucky. A lot of times at these lower tiers, destroyer will sit in that smoke in one spot, on whether it's random or in co-op in this case. And that's what they generally do here, is they'll sit in one spot in that smoke. So I swing back around and notice the smoke obscures my vision. There's the other destroyer. He's got to go. I'm going to drop down, drop my bombs, but if you see the circle, that's my lag. That's my lag, and I can't help that, gentlemen and ladies and family pets who happen to be watching. I can't help that. I try. But notice the destroyer disappeared. I want you to pay attention to the spotting mechanic here. Destroyer disappeared. He pops up on my screen. I don't have a lot of time to line up and react, and it's giving me all kinds of problems. Now, those of you with an excellent connection might not have these problems, but I do. So it's very difficult for me to get a hit on a destroyer now because of the spotting mechanic. Pardon me. Okay? Game closed. Gave his destroyer a wash, but no dice. I have much better luck myself with torpedo bombers. Okay? So, I'm coming up. I see he's capping that zone. And I'm going to try and stop him with torpedo bombers. Referring to what I said earlier about torpedo bombers versus destroyers. It's like swatting a fly with a sledgehammer. You might get lucky, though. You just never know. So, destroyer has left the cap. Where'd he go? He didn't go left. I guarantee you he didn't go left. Where did he go? He went right. But he's going to pop up on the screen. Watch the spotting mechanic. He's going to pop up on the screen too late for me to react. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop around. And I'm going to try and come at him again. Now this is going to be a stern shot. And it probably won't hit him. But it's the shot I got. And I got to get him out of that cap. I got to do something with him. Got to do something to get him out of that cap. So here I go. Drop down. Line it up. Which way is he going to turn? He's going to go left or right. Looks like he's bearing to the right. I'm going to try and plan it that way. Okay. There goes the torp. It's right behind him. Going directly at his stern. He's got plenty of time to move out of that. Again, these torpedoes are slow. And he did turn out of it. So I'm coming back around. There he is again. We're going to drop back down. Nope, that's not going to work. A and D key. It overcorrected. There's no way. But does that look tight or what? Look at the contrails coming off the wing. That just looks tight. I'm sorry. The aesthetics are great. And I'm sure they're going to get even better as time goes on. Notice also, I have not lost any torpedo planes. Because I'm using the speed boost, I'm speeding up, I'm slowing down, speeding up, slowing down. And that is confusing the AIs anti-aircraft. Will it confuse players and aircraft in the game? That remains to be seen. Okay? No one can really test what it's like against players because no one's playing on the randoms. And there have been numerous forum posts of people complaining that they couldn't test the AA because no one's playing a CV on the live server. Or not the live server, the PTR. That's true. Well, maybe that 15-minute queue time might have something to do with it. There's a torpedo, perfect torpedo launch. Oh, lost the plane, but there it goes. Boom! Hits him. No flooding. Didn't have any flags on. To get flooding, you almost always have to have flags on. So what I'm going to do is like, oh, hell no, you're not capping without being contested. So I'm going to be a warrior, and I'm going to go on down, and I'm going to try and cap with my carrier. Because no one else is, so why not, right? So I'm going to take the torpedo planes up again, and again, I get more mileage out of these. The destroyer has moved on. The destroyer has moved into B. Eventually, spoiler alert, he will end up in C, and we will meet again. But in the meantime, I'm going to come on over. I'm going to fly towards the cap to make sure it's clear. And it is. There's the destroyer over to my right, in front of me to the right. I'm not going to waste time going after him. I'm going after this battleship. He's dug in behind that island, but you can make that shot. You can make that shot. We're coming in kind of high. I'm going to drop a little bit late. You see the yellow line? Yeah, I dropped it a little bit late there. Didn't really have much of a choice, but I did drop late. Now here's a cruiser. Cruisers are very dangerous for carriers to attack, but we got to try anyway. We got to do something because we're not winning this match. Okay? So I'm going to come over, line it up, drop down. We're going to take a stern shot. Stern shots and bow shots almost never work. But I'm going to give it a try anyway. And here we go. We're going to launch. A little bit late. Look, it went over him. It actually dropped behind him. So we're going to come out of there, hit the speed boost. Tried and do, didn't do it. Cruisers, like I said, they're almost custom made for shooting down planes. So we'll take up dive bombers because my torpedo bombers are on cooldown. There are 5 in a group, 2 on the deck, 3 ready to go. If I launched now, I would only launch with 2. And that would leave me a long wait to get torpedo bombers back. So I'm going to let it build up to 5. In the meantime, I've got other planes to fly. So I'm going to take up these dive bombers. And I see a ship. Now with dive bombers, you want to attack bow to stern or stern to bow. You do want the stern shot or the bow shot with the dive bombers. And you always put it right where the ship is going with the hope that the ship will sail into the bombs. That's what you're hoping for. Okay? So I'm coming down, and this is actually a pretty good run. And I'm going to drop it on him. Is my lag going to let it hit? Nope. See the green circle jump? Did you see that? That's my lag. It's very frustrating sometimes, but it is what it is. I want you to understand what it is. You, the viewer, will probably not have that problem. I do because I have a Ferrari computer on a dirt road internet. And there's nothing I can do about it. I have tried. So, I digress. We come back around, we swing down, we've got that nice effect, and I did a false dive there to try and pick up some speed to come back at this cruiser. Alright, so we're going to come over right on his nose, we're going to dive down, and we're going to launch our bombs, and we get shot down. Now this is a glitch. It auto-launched dive bombers right away. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen, you've seen this before if you've watched my videos, there's nothing there. And that means that these were just auto-launched. Whether it's because of lag or whether it's a true glitch in the game, whatever it is, I wish that Wargaming would address it in some way, shape, or form, because it does get frustrating. I am able to control them only with the A and D key. I am able to drop ordnance, but I do not have any mouse control, and I do not have speed boost. I do not have engine cooldown. I don't have any of that on these. So,
the enemy team has taken the lead,
and the enemy team has built up a significant points lead here. So unless we do something radical, we're not going to salvage this. And it's overcorrecting. Again, it's very difficult to control with only the A and D key. I'm going to come down. I'm going to drop bombs. They're going to hit, and they're not going to hit. They're not going to hit. Somebody's capping C. Take a wild guess who's capping C.
destination reached.
Come on, take a wild guess.
The enemy is about to win.
There he is. That pesky little destroyer. Now this is a bot, and it's smart enough to go over there and cap C. You're not going to believe what he does next. Anyway, I bring up these torpedo bombers again. And our brave and intrepid Langley is capping. Yes, is capping. And we have capped on a Langley. Granted, it's in co-op, but still, that's something you like never see in a random battle on the live server a CV moving forward and capping a point. I've done it a couple of times when I had to, and there was no other choice. I saw a Taiho the other day do that, and he stayed right with the group through the entire match. It was amazing. But we're going to drop down here. Come on, line up. Come on, just a little bit left, a little bit left. You see the right and left V? When a ship is angled like that and they're moving like that, you want to try and get that side of the V right in the middle of his ship. And that should give you a pretty good angle for the drop. And again, flak's coming up. It's got me. So I've got to move. Why? Because I capped one. I'll cap another. What the hell? It's a brave little toaster. What can I tell you? All right. So we're going to take up these rocket planes. We got plenty of them. And we'll see what we can do with those. Probably not much, but we're going to see what we can do. Now, I want you to pay close attention to what's happening here, because our team is not behind in ships, but we are way behind in caps. And I've done somewhere around 6,000 damage. I haven't sank anything. So overall, yeah, not a really good game. I've seen some people post game results that are just amazing. So we're going to fire a good way off with these rockets, since I know they're off, and see if we can hit, and he comes up over. Okay. But it didn't lose any planes. So we're going to come back around. Now, if you look on the screen, you'll see to the right it says anti-aircraft fire. And that means I'm in defensive fire. And then on the left, you see aircraft carrier spotted. Who spotted me? Who's over there? Who do you think it might be that's angry that I took their cap? Who would do such a thing? What bot would possibly think of, wait a minute, there he is. That frickin' destroyer has come back to defend that cap and retake it. I'll be a son of a gun. And he launched his torpedoes and missed with every last one of them. Maybe he's got lag issues too. But he did that. So that's the end of the game, guys. What do we got economically? Well, we did about 6,000 so damage, 6,700. We made 12,000 credits. How did we make out? Well, we were toward the bottom of the screen. We lost 14 planes. Is that 14? It's hard for me to read that. 14. Okay. 14 planes, and we lost money. In a defeat. We lost, what was that, 19,000? Something? Credits? And we lost money even if we had premium. So, what did we learn?
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.